Some people think that a marketer's job is an evil one. Some people feel like your whole job is to blur the lines between needs and wants. And honestly, it's super fair. Marketing is a scary, scary profession. You learn the human psychological process and how to make money off of it. Best practices, you name it, right? It's like anything else. You can learn how to do a thing, and it's a matter of what you do with that knowledge. And some companies have done very great things and convinced people to do things that are good for them and they ought to do. And some companies, not so much. Is that the fault of marketing? Maybe, maybe not. But honestly, it's one of those things. Gives you the tools, and we'll see what type of human you are when you know all of that information. I'm not here to talk about the morals of marketing and whether this should be a thing or not. I'm here to educate you. And as a business person, there's a saying that salespeople are the easiest people to sell to, right? They kind of get high off of their own drug at times. And that is especially true for business people. A little exercise whenever you can to really think about what your wants and aspirations are. And then ask yourself the question of whether they are yours.
Up. If you are a small business owner, having a Lamborghini gives you a source of credibility. It shows that you've been successful, and that can be very, very helpful in your business.
I think one of the best examples is cars. A lot of people, they want a Lambo, they want a Ferrari, they want whatever, right? And they're like, okay, I need a six-figure job so I can afford, this and that. And you really have to ask yourself, where did this desire come from? Why six figures? What does that even mean? There's a lot of numbers that exist in the six-figure range. So where is it? What do you want that to be? Will you be less happy if your salary was $99,000, right? We have to think about these things and, where are these wants coming from? And it's usually from a very good marketer, somebody who's convinced you that this is the way forward and this is what happiness looks like in your life. This is what fulfillment looks like. It's neither good nor bad to have these aspirations. I think it is important that you just understand where it comes from. And after that, figure out whether you even want it. My advice to you is to look at the things that you buy and look at the things that you plan for and really ask yourself, why? Only buy the things that you actually plan for. Try not to be an impulse buyer. I have been a huge, not victim because I do it to myself, where I'm like, okay, I want to make this show. I want to make this, it's not a podcast anymore. I want to make this show. And I'll look at everything and be like, okay, I'll need like a social media scheduler, and I'll need a really good camera and amazing lights, and I need some scenery here and there. And I'm starting buying all these things, right? And next thing I know, it costs a lot more than I thought it would, right? But when you plan ahead and it's like, okay, I have 4 months to save up for all the gear that I think that I need. I have now 4 months to think about whether or not I really even want to do this thing. Budgeting is great. It's really great for putting on the brakes and giving yourself time to think about whether those things that you're budgeting for are even worth the money, the time, the effort, whatever. Because you don't want to buy everything and realize that you don't actually really care for this thing. You don't even really want it, especially when you get on credit, which we'll do a video for later. That stuff can be really scary, and business is already scary as it is.